Speaking of, you were talking about friends as well. Yeah. If I wanted to be a really good friend to a sister, what are the things that you would advise for me to really try to practice and to be for my friend? Because I've had like an experience when, after coming back from Hajj, I put on the hijab and, I pretty much like left the entertainment industry and I pretty much went towards seeking knowledge. Yeah. And when I sat down with some friends, they basically kind of like left it. They kind of left me as a friend. Yeah. Like, I kind of advised them like, hey, why don't you like cut down smoking, or why don't you cut down, going out to these, haram places or like clubbing. Yeah. And then the next minute, like, they left, like they were gone. So what should I do? Should I look for better friends? Should I just leave it? Or should I just continue to be there for them, even though they're not there for me? Yeah. So interestingly enough, I went through the exact same thing. Pretty much when I started practicing Islam, I consider myself actually accepting Islam, even though I was born in a Muslim household. I kind of like, my friends just got cut off completely, and I had to like find a new group of friends and all that. I think the answer is somewhere in the middle of everything that you said. Mm-hmm. Some friends you're gonna have no choice but to, like, you're just not organically gonna drift apart, because now like your morals are so starkly different. We don't intend to do that. We don't want to just cut people off, but realistically, it's going to happen with a few people. Mm-hmm. That being said, one of the mistakes that people make when they first start practicing or when they first become religious, I made this mistake as well, is to try to convince everyone of the epiphany that they've had, right? Like, you've seen the light, you're like, I see a big difference between my previous life and now, and you're just so happy, and you feel like you've made this big accomplishment and you've seen this thing that people aren't seeing. Mm-hmm. And so the urge is to want to bring people to that immediately. Right. And what you have to realize is that you were ready, right? Like I was in that place where I was ready, my soul was ready for it, and I was thirsty and dying, and I was looking out for it. And so when I found it, I accepted it, or you accepted it. But your friends, they're probably not there. Mm-hmm. And so to them, it seems very odd, it seems very weird, it's like they're just not ready for it. And the immediate reaction that some people have is to put up a wall and say, listen, this might be you, like it's not me, and I don't even get it, right? So my advice is be patient with people. Like, instead of telling them what they're doing is wrong, just try to be a positive influence in their life. So to the point where they when you chill with them and you hang out with them, obviously don't share in like the haram stuff that they're doing, but find a middle ground where there's plenty of halal things you can do together. And when you spend time with them in that fashion, they'll see that deep down inside, you're still the same person. Yeah. But your morals have changed, and you're finding your way more towards spirituality. And that's one thing. That's the other advice I give to people. SubhanAllah. There's a tendency to change very quickly, and we may lose out on who we actually are, like deep down inside. And Allah has given us these morals, and Allah has given us like the halal, haram. But Allah has still made us individuals, and we are different, and we have our own, especially like y'all know, like in the creative industry, we are creative beings. We want to express our individuality and all that, and Islam doesn't come to block that, right? So it's just about finding that middle ground and retaining who you are. And it took me a while, actually, to find my old self in my new self. I know it sounds weird. But it took me a while, but once I found myself, I was so happy and I was so comfortable. It's like this balance that I had. And now I'm not afraid of who I am. Like, I'm very open about my interests, my likes. I mean, even like the way I dress, the way I behave. It's very odd for people to consider me a sheikh and stuff like that. And I get it, and I understand when the older generation just doesn't take me seriously. That's fine, but like, this is who I am, and that's what it is. And I think that's where we need to get to, right? And that's finding that balance. Finding that balance, and not losing who you are, but still, finding your way towards Allah and finding your way towards spirituality.